Then we're going to talk into the woo-woo shit. We're going to get into the woo-woo shit. So, Igor brought some pretty interesting shit to the table. Starfire Tour, I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to put this out there right off the hop. I'm not a huge fan. But there's some points made in something that she posted yesterday after this whole Hawaii thing, and posted before it happening, to be fair. Boom, was there a timeline change? Did we just experience a timeline change? Was there a jump? There were 2 earthquakes that happened in Hawaii right after the text was sent out, like as in within that day. There were 2 small earthquakes. One was a 2.2, one was a 2.3 or 2.1, really small. But little things that you have to take into consideration. Are we going to keep, for me personally, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going to seriously keep my eyes open and be like, what the fuck? Let's just keep our feelers out. See if there's anything that feels off, strange, etc. There's weird shit playing out right now. And honestly, for me personally, I don't know about the rest of you guys, my opinion on what the weird fucking shit is changes almost every single fucking day. Literally. Can't figure it out. I go back and forth on all my various theories that I've thrown out here for you guys for years. So I posted a video. Posted it on my wall on Facebook, and I posted it in the Unfuckers group. And the video is a guy who's heavily religiously one of those YouTube channels. He's sinners and you got to repent and all the rest of it. The end is nigh kind of stuff. But ignoring all that, if we look at the video itself, it's showing images of what he's calling Nibiru. And it's interesting because I, for one, have never believed the Nibiru story. And when I say that, let me add, put a kind of proviso on this and say, it's not that I don't believe the Nibiru concept. It's that the Nibiru story, as in Sitchin, as in the way it has been built up into this whole drama, it has never sat right with me. But I'm also someone who says you look with your eyes and what do your eyes see? And over the last few years, we have seen some fucked up shit. Like, fucked up shit in our skies. And we watch and we listen to the news. We've got bizarre shit coming out of NASA. Things like, oh, there's a second moon somewhere floating around. Somewhere. I don't know. That there is, another planet out there, Planet X, that they're tracking. Of course, they're saying it's way out there, out by poor, ignored Pluto. We have gravitational storms. We have gravitational waves. We have new planets being discovered, etc., etc. New asteroids that are coming so close to Earth. They're gonna just miss us, just miss us, and we won't have another close flyby like this again for 20 years. Oh, but there's another one next month. You know, that kind of shit. And like, I'm sorry, the blood moons. Like, what did they like buy them at Sam's Club, like bulk, and they just have to use them all up before their best before date? Because we've got another blood moon this month. Like, and this is a blue blood moon. It's a blue blood moon. There we go. And there's a lot of people who are saying, oh, well, there's something going on. Here's some serious shit. So we look in our skies. We have seen some wild ass fucking shit. I'm going to actually ask one of you guys to do me a favor in chat. Can one of you guys find the post that I put into the Unfuckers room where we were having that discussion, and just send me a link to it so I can grab that? Because there's a couple of points in my notes that I wanted to take, and I, of course, forgot to pull up the link before we started. So if someone could find the link for me, I'd appreciate it. So when we see these images, and yes, okay, before anyone goes off, yes, lens flashes and lens flares, and you get weird particle shit and weird reflections, and that, we all know what that looks like. So don't throw the fucking shit about lens flares at me. We're seeing too many anomalies in the sky that people are seeing with their own eyes and then capturing with the camera. The reason they're pulling out the camera to take the pictures in the first place is because their own eyes are seeing the fucking fucked up bullshit, like two suns in the sky, etc. Some of the shit that we've seen in the last couple of months makes you go, okay, I have to. And there was a couple of photos that I've seen, and of course I haven't saved them, and one of them I fucking lost. I can't find it anywhere. Was posted last week of an object in the sky. And it is very, very interesting because in the video, you can see that the clouds are being displaced by something in the fucking sky. You can see it. Now, we've seen a lot of things. Oh, thank you, Indigo. Hold on, let me open that up just so I have it. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay, everyone stop sending me messages on Facebook. Holy crap, my messages just exploded. I need to open up the comments so I can see it. There we go. So, when you can see these things, or in Australia, we saw several times holes in the clouds. Like literally you have like that really, really high upper atmosphere clouds laid out like a fucking blanket with holes in them. Perfect holes. One there, one there. And we took a shitload of photos at the time. There's something going on. There's something going on in our skies. And again, I don't want to get into the whole thing of like it's just a, you know, it's a dome, it's a, yeah, okay, whatever it is, regardless of what it is, there's something going on. And I have to go back and look. So I put together a post and I put together a couple of lists with the post. Let me see if I can find my list. Okay. Okay, so I said, okay, so I'll pull this one up. So let's look at the fuckery that we've seen in the past few years. And we're talking now, I'm going to talk about geological, physical fuckery, right? So I said we have massive uptick in the number of earthquakes and in the magnitude of the earthquakes. Earthquakes happening in areas that are not known for earthquakes. Massive uptick in volcanic eruption, including dormant volcanoes that have been dead for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Weird tides. Water suddenly leaving the shoreline, and also unexplained high tides, where all of a sudden water is like way up high and flooding over into roads. And again, we had another one of that this week, right? We had that this week, again, with the low tides, where all of a sudden, water was freaking gone. Okay? We have massive die-offs of bird and marine animals. both of which use instinct or homing signals, their internal GPS, to get around. Massive movement of magnetic North Pole over the past 5 to 10 years. The North Pole right now is moving at a rate that is beyond any explanation. And when science tries to explain it, their explanations are absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Now, the North Pole is somewhere over frickin' Siberia somewhere. It's almost in Russia. Huge shifts in global weather patterns. Snow in places with absolutely no history of snow. Mild temperatures where it should be absolutely freezing. And we just talked about it just before we went live. We're fucking wild weather all over the place again, no matter where you are, it seems. Moon and the sun rising and setting in the wrong places. Moon and sun doing erratic things, turning weird colors, weird patterns, kind of moving around strangely. Okay, now that we've had a shit ton of those reports over the last 2.5 months, especially with the sun. Weird at people taking photographs. And like I said, you can't say that, that in England when they had the storm what was it, with the storm that wasn't, another one of those storms, where the sun turned bright fuchsia pink. Bright fucking fuchsia pink. And they tried to explain it as the storm came from the Sahara, and it was all that orange sand from the Sahara mixed with the sunshine and turned the sun bright fuchsia pink. Now, as someone who lived near to the Sahara, i.e. in northern Morocco, and we had sandstorms all the time, never ever once did we see the sky or the sun turn pink. So take that as you will. Changes in star positions. I reported on this heavily in 2014 when NASA and several observatories finally came out and admitted, 2015, finally admitted, 75% of the stars in our sky have changed positions all of a sudden. And then they come away again with a ludicrous explanation which makes absolutely no fucking logical sense to anyone who's got a brain cell. Stars changing positions. We have a huge amount of geomagnetic storms without any reason, i.e. no solar flares. Our sun is at a solar minimum right now. As I always keep saying, the sun is a dead stick at the moment. Science statement of coronal holes causing huge solar wind streams does not explain jack shit. We have had way, way bigger coronal holes from 4 years ago that we never had those kind of geomagnetic storms with. So I call complete bullshit on that. We have physical symptoms in humanity: anger, depression, mind numbness, emotional turmoil, physical pain, problems being able to concentrate and to be able to think. And all of these things can be associated with radical changes in the planet's geomagnetics. We know that when there's a geomagnetic storm, road rage goes through the fucking roof, and so do suicides. This is a well-established scientific fact. We've had continuous warnings about the electrical grid is going to fail. It's always because of a super solar storm. Some geomagnetic superstorm is going to come and it's going to wipe out the solar grid. The power grid. At least every 6 months for the last 4 years, they've had a major push to push that out there. And right now we're in the middle of a solar minimum. Not just any solar minimum, but I was just reading a recent report and they're saying that we're actually in the grand solar minimum that happens once every 400 years, where literally the sun is dead. We've also got continuous electrical blackouts happening all over the planet and in big cities, like all of a sudden, no electricity. Well, I don't know why. And again, you get some kind of half-assed, stupid explanation for it. Huge rise in meteor showers over the past 3 years, to the point now that almost weekly there's new video being posted of a fireball falling through the sky, or people hearing reports of all these things. Strange booms and noises again. You remember in 2012, it was a huge deal. There was some wild fucking videos. In 2013, we heard it in Morocco. we actually heard the trumpet sounds in Morocco. Actually, sorry, that would have been 2015. I remember what house we were in. All of a sudden, that seems to be back again, where people have all of a sudden, there seems to be like a renewed wave of this kind of stuff going. Wild rainbows seen everywhere. Strange shapes, strange colors, strange sizes, double arcs, sundogs, which I have never in my life ever seen before. I've now seen, I don't know how many in the last 6 months alone. And then, of course, insane amount of chemtrails. Increasing exponentially, it feels like, especially over the last 5 years. That's our first wave. Like, this is what I was saying. I just want to talk about the physical shit that we're talking about. And I was going to say, if anyone has any that I've missed, if there's something that pops up that you can think about. Okay, and Indigo, that's a really good thing. Why does it seem like sometimes it feels like the chemtrails are the absolute heaviest at sunset? But what's the one time of day when people are going to look up at the sky? During a pretty sunset. And what's the one type of day when these anomalies are seen, i.e. either a secondary planet, a moon, a second sun, however it appears for that moment, it's almost always at sunset. Almost always at sunset. Now, when we had the conversation on Fuckers, there were a lot of people who said, if it really was a planet that was that fucking big and that fucking close to us. Sorry, fuzzies from my scarf stuck in my mouth. It would tear the planet apart. To a planet that big, that close to us, it would tear our planet apart. And I pointed out the fact of, well, you know, it kind of is at the moment, if you really look at things. But my thought was this, and I think I threw this out into the group. I think I did. What if whatever it is that we're seeing isn't actually here? Maybe it's not actually here, physically, tangibly here. What if it is something that is in a parallel dimension? Or as Emily said, a 45-degree angle from us on the conversation we had last Sunday morning. What if it is just out of our perception? Be it out of sync with us in time, or, like I said, a parallel dimension. And the reason we don't see it all the time is because the light frequencies have to be just right for us to be able to see it. And a lot of the times when you see some of the really big, what looks like giant big planets or spheres or whatever, it's at sunset. And what you don't see so much the planet or the whatever it is you see how stuff in our reality moves around it. So like I said, like you see the clouds moving around it. You see a chemtrail. Saw this one a few months back. Exactly that. Well, you saw a chemtrail, and then all of a sudden the chemtrail was pushed out of the way by something. There's nothing there. You can't see it, but you can see because of the shape of the way the chemtrail moved. There, it was as if it ran into something. So, is that it? Are we seeing something else? Now, the other one that keeps coming to mind, and I hate to throw it on the table, but I will, is it a ship or ships? You know me, I'll look at anything, right? I mean, I'll throw anything on the table and take a good look at it. Yellow Rose from Texas has been talking about ships for a bajillion years, and just recently I read a message. I can't even remember where it came from, and I was like, oh my God, we're right back to 2012. Someone's holding Sheldon Idle hostage, and he's putting out this report from somewhere. Because it sounded just like the Sheldon Idle stuff from 2012 with talking about ships coming in. big motherships that are massive planetary size ships. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. But there's very obviously something is fucking going on. Now, I've talked about the tilts of the planet for eons now. Since 2011, I've been talking about the tilt of the planet causing a lot of our anomalies, i.e. weather-wise, etc. But does that account for everything? It accounts for a lot of kind of stuff. You can kind of relate to that, but not really. And of course, then you throw in the other one, the other missing piece on, of course, is the whole thing is all just a fucking simulation, and it's all a fucking computer-based reality anyways. And it's just a glitch in the system. It's just a glitch in the fucking system. Yeah, I don't know, folks. Now, I did want to talk about this. So the other thing that we have going on right now, or for this last chunk of time, and I've been, like I said, finding more and more, referring back to that time between from 2012 until now, right? What do we have technology-wise? So CERN in December of 2012 did their massive huge experiment, and discovered the Higgs boson, or proved its existence. Whatever. And then CERN shuts down for 2 years and reopens in early 2015 with immediate media announcements as soon as they started up the experiments, as they were even just warming up to do the experiments. All this talk about how they were going to prove the multiverse theory, they were going to open a door to another universe, and the one big one that was in the summer of 2015, multiple science, not alternative media, science, talking about how they open a door to a parallel universe and that some of our gravity has leaked through. Take that to mean whatever you think you want it to mean, because that's just fucked. We have D-Wave quantum computers. The video from TED Talks, which was filmed at TED Talks in 2013, yet none of us saw it until 2015. An altar to the alien god, reaching into parallel dimensions and pulling assets and info, or whatever it was, through into our reality. Okay? We have a sudden explosion of information about quantum computers that happens in 2015. I mean, exponential. And the stuff that came with it was a massive amount of information about quantum mechanics, things like quantum time crystals, which I did quite a bit of research into early 2016. Okay, massive amount of that kind of, the teleportation of particles through quantum entanglement. And now, just this year, they've announced, Russia and China have announced that they have managed to send data from one place to another place using quantum entanglement, basically making it an unbreakable, uncrackable code to be able to use for communication. Now, while blockchain and the Bitcoin started in 2009, it didn't really start becoming news until 2012. We have all of this, and it's like it goes in jumps and surges. So 2015, there was a real surge in Bitcoin. And again, 2017. 2017 is the year of fucking Bitcoin, where mining has gone off the charts. Cryptocurrencies has gone and just exploded. Okay? NASA stopped sending rockets and space shuttles out in 2011. They basically closed up shop. And then they started using the Russian space program. The Sputnik rockets. Not really. And you gotta laugh how there's fucking sanctions on Russia for everyone else, except the US government can use them for their space program anytime they feel like it. Then Elon Musk takes over the world with Tesla and SpaceX. out of what feels like nowhere. And now SpaceX is sending rockets up for NASA and a bunch of other corporations, even though it seems that at least half the rockets explode or get lost. I mean, am I wrong here? I may be exaggerating a little bit. Maybe it's not quite half. Maybe it's, say, a third of the rockets seem to explode. But you got to ask some questions, right? And then you have Elon Musk starts the whole beware of AI and we are living in a simulation statements in 2015. And everyone jumps on that bandwagon. Like literally everyone jumps on that. We're all talking about it. We're talking about this. We're talking about it all the time. So, where are we? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, D-Wave looks like another Borg ship. But it's a little prettier. The blue is quite nice. Well, this is the thing. So we look at things like we've discussed over the last few years, but especially in the last year. Jumping timelines, looping timelines, parallel dimensions, fractal realities, fractals of ourselves. We've talked about all the weird fucking shit that's going on. And now, like I said, some of this stuff is getting to the point where, I don't know, are we looking at disclosure? In the fact that the shit's getting so fucking bizarre that sooner or later, every single person has to take note of it. Like, you just cannot ignore it, no matter how asleep you are. You have to suddenly go, what the fuck is going on in my sky? I don't know. But at this point, man, like I say, I just keep throwing everything on the table. Because there's pretty much not a theory out there that I haven't tried on for size at least once. And at this point, I don't think we can discount anything because I don't think any of us have the answers yet. So, no. Very, 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 very strange shit. Okay, well, Jane, okay. The videos of the pics of the cities appearing in the sky like it was bleeding through, okay? That happened in 2015 and happened again in late 2017. Now, the big one of that one was in January of 2015, where an entire city in the sky was seen in a remote Nigerian village. And basically, it was like the entire village came out to look and saw an entire city up in the sky. So yeah, I mean, and then we can toss around things. We can say, okay, well, we've got Project Bluebeam. Yeah, Project Bluebeam. Yeah, okay. But it seems to me that the shit that we're seeing, given with everything else, if we were to take any one of the things that we see and experience, if it was just one thing or another thing, maybe two things, you might be able to fluff it off and say, oh, here comes trouble. Hello, trouble. You might be able to fluff it off and say, oh, it's Project Bluebeam. It is HARP. It is massive mind control coming through the computer monitors and the Wi-Fi. But, oh, I got something to show you guys. Jane, thank you. Okay, so that was the other piece of news. Okay? Hole over Antarctica. A hole over Antarctica, like a size of a small country, this hole has appeared in the ice, purportedly. I'm going to try and backtrack how I got to the place I was. That I'm not even sure I can, but got up this morning discussing all the weird shit that we've seen. Discussing this stuff like basically the whole Hawaii thing, right? Now, hold on. I've got to pull up a picture because the only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I actually show you guys the photos, because the internet will be foobarred. Okay. Let's go. No, stop it. There. Okay. So we start talking about flight tracker. Right? We start talking about the flight tracker. You know, like was that Flight Radar 24? Said, well, was anyone smart enough during this whole thing in Hawaii to immediately go to that flight tracker and see if they could see any planes, anything weird going on? So, and of course you can't backtrack on that, right? Like you can't go back, like set it back to go like 1 day ago and try and track shit. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So then we went and looked at the ship trackers. Is there any interesting ships floating around? And you pull up, you know, the little colored code key where you can see, you know, like the pink ships are the are merchant ships, and the blue ships are fishing rigs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know why, but Nick and I got talking about Antarctica. It's like, well, let's go look and see what's going on in Antarctica. Now, bear with me a second. Because, you know, as usual, I got some questions. I got some questions about the fact that this here ship, and there's the number for it, is in the middle of Antarctica. And it's an unknown, it's a big ass ship. I looked up the records. Oh, damn, I bet you I don't have that open now. Chinese rocket crash. Hold on, maybe I still have it open. Is that the ships? That's the ships. Oh, man. Oh, ha. I'm being a numpty. Sorry, guys. Let me just move this out of my way so I can see. Do I have them still open? Groot, go away. We're going to refresh. Hey, I got it open. There's the live feed. Oh, is my shippy still there? Oh, is my ship gone? Really? Oh, I'm so lonely. My ship has left me. Nope, there's one of them. It's a fishing boat. It's a fishing boat in the middle of Antarctica. Like right smack in the middle of Antarctica. Now, I don't know where that hole is. I mean, maybe the fishing boat fell from the sky into the hole. Maybe it's a submarine. Of course, the other thing that comes up with this is, of course, all those big ass freaking tunnels. And we've seen, like there's the one cave, and it was out last year, like massive. The cave front at the water level was something like you could put the Empire State Building in the cave. It was so tall. So like, are ships actually coming in underneath the water? And they're underneath the ice? I don't know. Now, let me see. Oh, look, there's my ship. Oh, he's moved. Oh, look, he's moved. Now he's over here. Okay, that's interesting. Hold on. Let's see. So there we are. That's the live shot right now. Where's my shot? Oh, look, there he is over here. So you can see, there he is now. He's on the complete flip side. He was over here this morning. Now he's over here. There he is. So, again, I don't understand what this ship is doing over here. You might also find it very interesting, first of all, this right here, really, really fucking busy area apparently. But all along the coast, you see tug and special craft, cargo vessel. And as you go along, oh, look, there's another one parked there right on the coast, tug and special craft. We got a bunch more coming, fishing. Fishing. Oh, here we go again. Tug or special craft again. Oh, that's as far as we can go on this side. You gotta pretend it doesn't go all the way around. And again, here we go. So here we go over the way over to here. So there's McMurdo again. So there's the one we just saw. Tug and special craft. We see a bunch of stuff all over here. Like, what's this? Now it says tug and special craft, fishing, 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 fishing. I find that interesting. And then again, we've got fishing and more fishing. Oh, and here's another guy who's, oh, he's fishing right up in between the icebergs. Yeah. Yeah, we have boats in the middle of the ice. Interesting. It was just my little thrill for the day to see that. It was like, wow, Antarctica is so special. I mean, that was kind of sort of off topic, but I had to take you guys all on a little journey with me. It's so much fun. Yeah. There's no king crab left in Alaska? Really? Well, that would be suckish. That's another one of the things that happened in the last week was all of a sudden the announcement. There's a big ass fucking hole in the ice in Antarctica. Just magically appeared. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. That's about all I have to say on this. To let you guys know, I'm going to be shortening this down to doing 1 hour shows. Because the 2 hour shows they're long. They're long. So there will be shows where we're going to end up going 2 hours when they're big ass topics and I've got guests on and we're going deep into the crap. But for the sake of recordings, I'm going to try and keep them to 1 hour. And but that's okay because we're all going to sit down and have a chit chat afterwards. Right? Yeah, so that is it for Transpicuous News and Transpicuous Views. Just a little bit of stuff for everyone to chew on, I guess, this week. No answers, because, I don't actually do answers, just lots of questions. But that's it. So I will talk to you guys again next week. Bye.